Right, we're down here fishing. I've got my lovely bait mix, which I've been working on for about a week and a half now. So every couple of days I've just got a little bit of glug, a little bit of flavour, and just sort of stirred it in and mixed it through. So there's nice little clumps of intense flavours and attractors in there. What we're going to do now is make that into what I think is the perfect solid bag, but I'm going to show you step by step how to recreate this. Yeah, a bit of shit on the hand. Pointing out, I use the Pro Catchmore range. I get them off Amazon, but you can use any sort of solid bag, but I would go for the ones, the slightly better quality ones, that are sort of not as perforated. Pinch the opening, get your lips around the flaps, and just give it a quick blow. There we go. Now we're going to be able to fill that right up. Basically a 4.5 inch hair rig there, with a kicker, but something about 4.5, 5 inches to go into a sort of a slim size solid bag. I've got a size 10 hook, and that's sort of matching my bait, which is going to be a 10mm wafter. So this is some customs I had made from Use It. So essentially 10mm wafters in a sort of barrel shape. I wanted them to mimic corn, so I'll you know, during the winter particularly, I might chuck in a handful of corn in my mix, or just put a couple of spoms out there. But this, with this sort of bomb of flavour that the solid bag is, with a sprinkling of corn around it, it's going to be fantastic. Worth saying as well, these are matching the bubblegum flavour that I've got with all of the solid bag mixture. So I've just threaded that lengthways on a fine needle. Just going to pop that on to there, and what I'll do is I'll just cap that off with a hair stop. I use the 5mm diameter tidy stems from Gemini. Genuinely, I think they're the best on the market, and you can sort of reuse them and reuse them. Right, I've got to put a really short anti-tangle sleeve on the rig, so I'm going to cut one down to about halfway, because I just want it to sit over the quick change link. Ooh, fishy splashing about. I've got my tidy stem. I'm just going to pop that over the quick change and just roll up my anti-tangle sleeve, and that just stops it from being able to come off, keeps it nice and tidy. So what we've got now is the whole rig. Right, so I'm going to fill up this solid bag about halfway with my wonderful mix. I'm just going to pop the lead onto the tidy stem and line that up next to my PVA bag. This is where the magic happens. It's a real game changer. So we're going to flatten that bag out just like that, and we're going to take the rig with some tweezers and pop it into the bag. I want it to sit about 1 inch off the bottom. We're then going to turn it over and then place the lead in directly behind where the bait was. Now it's important that that lead sits behind it. What we're looking for is for the bait to be one side, the lead to be on the reverse, so that when you cast it, it will just find the weight and it will land that way all the time with the hook facing up. So this is how we do it. So once it's in that position, we'll now push it all down, and you can see we've got the bait there right at the front and the lead perfectly at the back. Now I'm just going to pop another couple of scoops. We're just going to compress it down, so give it, pinch the top and just push it down, compress it. I suppose what you're looking for with the solid bag is, it's a bit like the old method feeder sort of tactic. You're looking for a bait sort of wrapped in irresistible goodness and attractors that's going to kind of get a carp in. So once we've got that compressed as tight as we can, we'll twist the end just like that, we'll get some PVA tape. Again, I use the Catchmore PVA tape because it is quite elastic and strong, so I can wrap that around 3 or 4 times. Tie it into a knot, just a couple. And then snip there, and have a bit of a tidy up, so I'll snip around the top as well. Now, I don't tend to cast any great distance, but I still like to kind of tuck in the sides, not for sort of casting distance, but just for explosion. As tight as you can get this solid bag is how impactful it's going to explode when the water does get into it. So we want it, we've got sort of that cloud powder in there and lots of attractors that are going to go up through the channels, so we want it to make as big an impact as it can possibly make. So yeah, I'm going to stick down all the sides. It will make a difference to casting if you're casting at length, and another advantage of solid bags is they are very, very castable. They're very aerodynamic. I'm just going to clip that down. That is absolutely perfect. One bit of advice, we've already made sure we've got the weight at the back, the bait at the front. That is going to land that way up on the water, presented nicely. But just to help it, just where the hook is, if you pop a pin in there, any air that is in there, the bubbles will find the way out of that hole first, and that will help settle it on the bed like that.